foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and salutations to the elect. This is the brother lawyer from Great Millstone, Miami, and what I want to touch in this lesson is a bit of mindset, and protocol for the times that are coming. We understand that the powers that be, the house of Amalek, all right, is beginning to make their way to address, all right, the doctrine of the Israelites, okay, what we believe in, okay, and what comes with that is the possibility that Esau's news media, okay, his news media may very well approach some of the camps. Now granted, there are a whole lot of camps out there, man. Whether it be Great Millstone or any one of these other Israelite groups, there's a whole lot of Israelite camps. So what I'm saying is not that they're gonna approach every one of the camps because it's a whole lot, okay. But nonetheless, the possibility is still there that they may send some of their news media reporters or whatever have you crews over to the campsites where brothers teach at, and start questioning, okay, start questioning brothers, getting in brothers face with the camera and the microphone and stuff like that, all right. And when these situations like this happen, if they do happen, because we understand man's goings are of the Lord, all right. The scriptures give us much instruction, okay, many examples in the scriptures of how to deal with situations like this, okay. All right, when situations like this come up, it's not a time to panic or be scared or nervous, okay. We understand that we're are going to be made a spectacle unto the world, as we already are, and unto angels, okay. All right, and it's definitely not the time to be over bold or overzealous and you know um, speak out of turn, okay, or be too loose with our mouths either, okay. All right, and scriptures talk about ruling your spirit and ruling your tongue as well. So we definitely don't want to be in the spirit of fear, okay, or nervousness, but we don't want to be in the spirit of being too brash or bold, being a little bit too rambunctious or whatever. All right, just keep it calm, cool, and collected, and use wisdom. All right, and pick your battles. Pick your words wisely, and stick to the script, man. Be in the spirit. Because at the end of the day, the Lord has it to where we're in the driver's seat. Okay, the prophets are in the driver's seat. All right, everything that the Lord has put in our mouths to speak out there on the highways and byways and on these videos for years is manifesting. Okay, because the prophecy is coming to pass, man. Okay, so if they do approach the camps, hey, they're on our turf. We're not on their turf. Okay, they're on our platform and on our territory. We have cameras recording us as well. Okay, all right, and they gonna have to move to whatever pace that we choose to set. Okay, all right, through the Spirit. All right, remember Yahweh Shai taught as one having authority, and he didn't always entertain everything people would say about him or say to him. Okay, he was really in the Spirit, and that's the example that we ought to follow. Okay, so with that, being said, I want to say, hey, Lord, when this video is edifying, all praises to Yahweh Shai Shai. Okay, and I'm gonna start here with Proverbs chapter 26, verse 4. It says, "Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him." Okay, all right, and we understand that the powers that be, the Lord gave them a certain level of wisdom on the left hand side, but at the end of the day, they are foolish. Okay, all right, the scriptures tell you, "Cast not your pearls before dogs and swine." Okay, lest they turn again and rend you. Okay, the scriptures tell us to avoid foolish questions, okay, and contentions and genealogies and strifes, okay, for they are unprofitable and vain and they only gender strife. We understand that Esau what he likes to do with his media, okay, and even different Jakes that work for Esau's news media, all right, which they're set up by Esau. What they like to do is they like to kind of bait you in and gaslight you or whatever with different questions, all right, to get a response out of you, to get you riled up, okay, and get you to say something out of your emotions or whatever, okay, and then next thing you know, you're looking foolish, okay, all right. So hey, again, understand that we're dealing with the serpent, man. We're dealing with somebody who does not have good intentions. All right. When they do, if they do come up to the camps in that type of manner, okay. All right. Hey, remember, you have the liberty, okay, to, like they say, you have the right to remain silent, okay. All right. Hey, the Lord has given us liberty in this truth to entertain and to answer to whom we will, okay, according to the Spirit, however the Spirit would have us to answer or not to answer, okay. All right, it says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. So again, you have the liberty to answer them. And again, this all takes discernment and experience and the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. That's why before we go out there and do the work and we go out there and preach, we always pray in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai that he puts his words in our mouth so we can say the right thing to edify the body. Okay? All right. So just remember, man, be in the spirit, man. Don't be reacting, to everything they say. Okay, everything they might say, every question they might ask. Okay. All right. And there's been many times, that Esau with his news media has tried to approach a different camps, you know, and has made a fool out of himself. Okay. All right, because one thing that Esau, he's kind of in the spirit of is kind of getting things his own way. Getting things his way. He talks to people and he expects them to respond when they speak to him, or when he speaks to them. And oftentimes he would approach camps and try to do that, and not get a response at all. Okay, brothers would just stay in the spirit, stay in the scriptures. Okay, all right, and ignore him. Okay, so hey, Yahushua did that as well. Okay, all right, Yahushua was, in certain cases, all right, you would have the Sadducees or the Pharisees, the scribes, the Herodians come to him to ask different questions. Okay, and he would just straight up ignore them or ask them questions in return. Okay, all right, because he knew their intentions, that their intentions were not good. And we understand that the wicked that rule this world, their intentions are not good. They don't have a sincere heart, okay, to understand the gospel and to understand what we preach. If they did, they would have approached us a long time ago. Remember that we do these videos, and when we post them up on YouTube, okay, and YouTube is run, okay, by by those small hatters, if you will. Okay. All right. So if they wanted to address us sincerely in the scriptures, they would have done that already. The same way, when people come up against the doctrine that we teach or question the doctrine that we teach, we do counter videos or response videos or rebuke or reproof videos. Okay. They could have done that a long time ago, but they haven't done that. They've never done that. Why? Because they know that they cannot deal with the scriptures, man. Okay, and they don't have a sincere heart to understand the will and the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, because they are the wicked. Okay, Psalm 58 and 1, it says, do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Okay, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder, okay, that stoppeth her ear, the deaf adder. Okay, an adder is a poisonous snake. Okay, and it says what, the deaf adder, which means this adder, this type of snake it does not have the faculty to listen and interpret sound and music. Okay, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. So they don't have a mind and a heart and an ear to hear the words of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, to hear the music of the gospel, to dance to the new song. That's not in a spirit. Okay, all right. So don't feel obligated and obliged to answer everything that they say. Okay, and that doesn't necessarily mean that by doing that, okay, by avoiding their folly, okay, that we're not being bold. Because going out there and preaching the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is a bold act. Okay, all right. Matter of fact, let me get it real quick. Let me see. All right. This is Ephesians chapter 6 verse 20. It says, "For which I'm an ambassador." Matter of fact, um, Ephesians 6 and 18, it says, "Praying always with all supplication, all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. And as for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak," man. Okay, all right. So of course we go out there and we speak the gospel boldly, man. All right, with the fact that we're out there, out there in our garments with the Bibles, in our hands with the sign, proclaiming the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai, giving all glory to His name. That in itself is a bold act. Okay, all right. And if they ask any questions surrounding what the Bible says, okay, of course we gonna bring out the scriptures on it. Okay, all right. But nonetheless, hey, we again, if they say anything stupid, all right, and try to gaslight or whatever like that, hey, that doesn't necessarily mean that just because we shun those types of foolish questions and unlearned questions and those questions that are meant to tempt, okay, all right, and to ensnare somebody in their words, like the scriptures say, they lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. Just because we avoid those questions as the scriptures tell us to do, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're not being bold. Okay, don't confuse the two. Okay, all right, don't confuse using wisdom and prudence. Okay, for not being bold. Okay, don't mistake wisdom and prudence for being fearful. Okay, because that's not what it is. All right. Hey, again, this is Second Timothy chapter 2 verse 23. It says, "But foolish and unlearned questions avoid, knowing that they do gender strifes." Okay, strifes. But the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach and patient. Okay, so hey, man, hey, we out there to teach the gospel of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We not out there to get into some back and forth foolishness. All right, that's not gonna lead to nothing, man. Okay, trying to put words in brothers' mouths, twist what brothers saying. Nah, man. Okay, we bring out the scriptures and we edify the point and we move forward. Okay. Now, what I do want to go to is just a few examples in the Gospels, man. You know, going into how Yahushua often he was questioned, okay, and how how he dealt with it. Even though these people were trying to tempt him and trap him up in his words and get him to say things, so that they could accuse him further. Okay, all right. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 3. It says, "And the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?" Okay, and he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Okay, all right. And then they further asked him more questions concerning the bill of divorcement. Okay, but the point is, you see, all right, that the Pharisees were trying to trap Yahushua up on the law. Okay, and he went deep into the scriptures with it, man. Okay, all right, he kept it scriptural. All right, knowing that they were trying to, try to push the spirit of, Yahushua don't keep the law, things of that nature. Now, granted, of course, we understand that Esau is not going to come on that type of scriptural tip, but nonetheless, you see, whatever these questions that Yahushua was asked by the Pharisees when they were asking these questions to him maliciously, all right, how he kept it biblical, man. All right, because that's what we stand on, man. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, man, but mighty through Yahweh through the pulling down, to the pulling down of strongholds, man. So we gotta stay again in the scriptures, man. Okay, Matthew chapter 22, verse 34, it says, But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asking him a question, tempting him, asked him a question, tempting him, saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Okay, and again, Yahushua came straight out the scriptures. Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Okay, all right. So again, you see, Yahushua went straight to the Bible. He went straight to the scriptures. Okay, and he cut them. Okay, all right. And hey, brothers already know how to deal. Brothers know how to deal, with Esau, man. We over the years, man, people come up to the camp, debate, ask different type of questions, man, and the spirit always deals, always pours out his, its words in our mouths, man. Okay, and we already see how Esau is coming with this whole narrative of anti-Semitism. Okay, all right, and how brothers are already cutting up, like who's Sim, who's Shem, okay, and how Shem had five different sons: Arphaxad, Aram, Ashur, Elam, okay, and Lud, okay. All right, so hey, Esau, hey, he ain't ready, man. He ain't ready, man. Okay, so he could play his little word games all he want. He's still gonna get cut in the spirit. Okay, all right. Hey, this is Mark chapter 12, verse 13. It says, and they sent unto him certain of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in his words. You see, all right. And so again, yeah, we already know, man. That's how Esau's coming. They coming to try to catch you in your words, make a man an offender for a word, man. That's why they have all these different terminologies out there, that Esau tries to put out there, man. Okay, all right, to make somebody a criminal just for something that they said. Okay, all right. When according to him, it's what we supposed to all have freedom of speech and everybody's created equal, this and that. Okay, all right. And we have freedom of press and things of that nature. But here you are trying to make somebody a criminal just for a word, man. Okay, all right. Not even understanding what the word means or its origins, man. And so understand that that's how Esau is gonna come. So hey, don't give these people out here any fuel, okay, any reason to try to blame the ministry, man. Okay, don't say anything out of pocket. Okay, don't answer unnecessary questions that don't need to be answered. Okay, all right. And verse 14 it says, and when they were come, they say unto him, Master, we know that thou art true and carest for no man, for thou regardest not the person of men, but teachest the way of God in truth. Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? Okay, so trying to ask him those type of trick questions, man. Okay. And Yahushua, hey, he gave him a solid answer, man. Render to Caesar what is Caesar, and to the Most High what is the Most High's, man. Okay, all right, because hey, they were under Roman authority, man. Okay, so hey, you got to deal with the powers that be. Okay, the scriptures say that we're gonna be oppressed and they're gonna do such and such things to us, and that we're gonna have to abide by their ways. It is what it is. Okay, so it's not a point of whether it's lawful or not. We don't have sovereignty. Okay, so they're gonna try to certain scenarios try to paint it to where we trying to execute our own law and our vengeance. Okay, and handle things the way the Bible would have it to be handled. All right, but nonetheless, we still under this man's power and authority, so we know according to the scriptures that we can't go out of bounds and handle things our own way because we don't have no sovereignty, we don't have no land, we don't have no authority to do that. Okay, and let every soul be subject to the higher powers, man. As long as it doesn't compromise and conflict with what we believe in, okay, we have to subject ourselves to the powers that be. Okay, all right. Hey, this is another example. John chapter 8, verse 1. It says, Yahushua went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him and sat down and taught them. All right, and it says, and the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such shouldn't be stoned, but what sayest thou? Salakia. All right, and it says, and they said unto him, and they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. All right, this they said, tempting him that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. You see? So you see how Yahushua played it even in this scenario, man. Okay, how Yahushua just pretended not even to listen to not even to hear what they said, man. Okay, as though he had not heard them. So he heard what they said, but he didn't even answer them. Okay, and the scriptures tell you about the power of the tongue, man. Choosing what to say, what not to say. Okay, not being a man full of tongue, man. Okay, all right. So they could come asking a little, slick little roundabout questions and stuff like that. Trying to get a response. You could just straight up ignore them. Okay, like the scriptures say, avoid foolish and unlearned questions, man. All right, avoid that stuff, man. Contentions, and strivings, man. Questions just to start something, man. Okay, all right. And again, it all takes a discernment. It all takes being in the spirit. Okay, it's not really like a set, rule or kind of like curriculum, if you will. Kind of like a set in stone way to handle the situations. It's all about having discernment and being in the spirit, man. Choosing your words wisely, picking your battles, man. How Yahushua was, man. Okay, remember Yahushua when he was being accused. Okay, all right. Before the authorities, all right, they would ask him certain questions, and he wouldn't even answer them. Okay, and other questions he would answer them. He was really tactful and timely, man. Okay, all right. And, hey, man, this is Matthew chapter 21 and 23. It says, and when he was coming to the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came unto him as he was teaching and said, by what authority dost thou these things, and who gave thee this authority? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, I also will ask you one thing, which if ye tell me, I likewise will tell thee by what authority I do these things. And the baptism of John, whence was it, from heaven or of men? And they reasoned of them within themselves, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say unto us, why did ye not then believe him? But if we shall say of men, we fear the people, for all hold John as a prophet. Okay. And they answered Yahushua and said, we cannot tell. And he said unto them, neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. Okay, so you see Yahushua, when they was asking him these questions, man, about, who gave you the authority to do this, and so on and so forth. Okay, asking him these questions, trying to, get a rise out of him, trying to accuse him and stuff like that. He threw a question back at him. Okay, all right. And until they were able to answer that question, he was not going to move any further, man. Okay. And again, just because what Esau likes to do is, like, he likes to put the spotlight on you and the camera in your face and the microphone in your face, okay, and ask you these questions. And because you got so many eyes on you, you feel like you got to respond. Okay. Esau likes to do that type of stuff. He's petty. He's a little boy. Okay. All right. But remember, man, maintain that spiritual manly frame, man. Okay. You can choose to answer them, or you can choose not to answer them, man. Okay. All right. You can answer their question with a question. Okay. All right. You can completely just shut them down. All right. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. All right. But again, it takes discernment, man. It takes discernment, it takes the spirit. All right. And being in order as well, man. Because, brothers, the camps are growing large. Okay. It's a lot of brothers with fiery spirits out there on the highways and byways. You know, hey, time things right, man. Okay. Don't be in the spirit of talking over each other. All right. You got the heads of the camp that's there leading the camp. All right. The first, second, and third. Hey, let them set the pace. Okay. All right. Let them set the pace and move in that spirit. Okay. All right. And if they say engage. All right. And keep a certain pace. And if they move in the spirit of, hey, disengage, ignore them. Okay. That's what it is. All right. And scripture say what? Let all things be done decently in order, man. Okay. If the prophets speak what 2 and 3, and let the other interpret that. That's in Corinthians, man. So all these things we have to remember, man. Being in the spirit, hey, we gotta really internalize these scriptures, man, and actually walk them out, man. That's what it means to be in the spirit. Okay. All right. Matthew chapter 26, verse 57, it says, and they that had laid hold on Yahushua led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and the council sought false witnesses against Yahushua to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet they found none. At the last came two false witnesses, and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witnesses witness against thee? But Yahushua held his peace. Okay. All right. So you see that, man. They was bringing all type of accusations, saying all type of this and that about Yahushua, man. Yahushua closed his mouth. He ain't say nothing, man. Okay. He ain't say nothing, nada. All right. Because he knew it was the will of the Father that they was going to falsely accuse him anyway. Okay. All right. So, hey, these things are to be remembered, man. All right. Hey, the scriptures say what? Be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, man. All right. Beware of men. Okay. For they shall deliver you up unto the councils, and scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, man. Okay, you're gonna be brought, before them as a testimony, man. All right, so these are just some of the precepts I was thinking about, man. Lord willing, it's edifying to the flock, man. Hey, just remember, a certain decorum that we're supposed to keep. Okay, when we out there on the highways and byways, certain mindsets, man. All right, don't let Esau drag you into his world of trying to get emotional rises out of you. Nah, keep it spiritual, keep it biblical, man. All right, understand that we're in the driver's seat, man. We're the ones who should really be asking the questions in the first place. Okay, and at the end of the day, hey, these prophecies coming to pass too. That's a major weapon, man. Okay, they want to speak all this. We speak in hate against the you wish you were a Jew people. Okay, but prophetically, what do the scriptures say, man? That the people over there that will occupy the Holy Land in the last days are the Idumeans, and that's according to Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, man. Okay, so hey, man, again, hey, we the ones in control. We the ones in the driver's seat through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Remember that, man. Okay, we're the ones that should be asking the questions, choosing what to say, what not to say, what questions to answer, what not questions to answer, as the scriptures say, man. Okay, all right, so. Hey, with that, hey, Lord willing, this video is edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, Kwame Asherala, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.